again. I'm Wade, and this is the Geiger Counter. I've been sitting on this one for about a year, and the reason is I'm in over my head with it. It's an 8-bit computer, it's a preamp, and it's 250 waveforms and endless amounts of control on how to screw everything up. And I got it, and I'd kind of gone back and forth on these things, and then I got a chance to play one. I was like, yeah, I need to check this out. Got it home, and I was like, wow, this is a digital distortion generating machine. And that's sort of the opposite of what we think of as tonally pleasing. Matter of fact, that's what every engineer wants to get rid of. And so that's really cool. I like weird stuff, but it takes a lot of thought and work to kind of figure out how you're going to use that. And turns out I was going about it all wrong. I saw this documentary about synth players, and they were talking about how the keyboard is not an instrument. The keyboard is their control panel, and the synth is their instrument. And then I thought, well, maybe I should approach this thing like the guitar is my control panel and play this thing like an instrument. And once you start to build loops and feed it to it, or just really start to sort of tweak the knobs and think about this as the instrument, it really starts to open up a lot of cool stuff. And so here we are. I'm still just kind of figuring this thing out, but it's time to jump on the horse and I guess ride it.
Bypass switch, volume knob, gain knob. You know what those do. The tone knob is interesting. It's a blend between low mids and high mids. It's got an enable disable switch. When it's disabled, you get a hotter signal dumped directly into the wavetable, and it almost always sounds better, but you need to be able to tweak the wave, and so that's why the enable switch is there, because sometimes you're going to want to really fine tune it. Sample rate. This controls how long of a sample your signal is converted to. Bit depth. Everything that comes in is converted to 8 bits. And as this is turned counterclockwise, each of these numbers reduces that by half. There's 2 LEDs right here. Right now they're set to red. The sample rate, that means it's at fine control. It can be set to more larger sweeping controls. And this red one means that it's before the wavetable. It can be set after the wavetable, or it can be pulled out. Here we have a bit mask switch. Bit means the bit depth degrades the signal. Mask means it controls the filter that is used to sweep it. Wavetable, 252 waves, organized in such a way that you can get through them fairly easily and remember where you're at. It's not that intimidating once you kind of get the handle of it. And it tends to sort of be milder, and then the next one will be aggressive, and then it sort of changes waves altogether. That's the easiest way I know how to explain it. CVN, so you can run an LFO into this thing if you're way into the synth side of things. All right, let's listen to it. Now what I'd do with that is I'd run that underneath something while I played over the top of it. And I think that's what's really great about this, is it's essentially a synth pedal. Fit it right on your board, and you can use it to feed stuff into it and then just destroy it. Or you can use it to sort of mimic, and it takes a little work to do this, old style synth, to where you can have this giant running underneath your signal. Hopefully I don't sound really dumb doing that. I bet I do. Alright guys, we've come to the end of another demo. If you've noticed that the end of this one is darker than the beginning of it, it's because I had a long work day in the middle. I can't just play with pedals all day. I have to shoot these things around what actually pays the bills. I've just barely scratched the surface on this thing. It does a lot more. I could spend
2 or 3 videos just tweaking knobs, that's not practical. But you have an idea what it sounds like, you understand how it works, and so you need to imagine how you would use it, because it's a little synth module, and what you feed it, it will destroy, whether that's your signal or a loop, and it gives you almost endless control in that. But you've got to remember that it's not a guitar pedal that's going to make you sound richer or fuller. It's about destruction. It's digital distortion. It's 8-bit wackiness. Got a few mugs left. You should probably buy those. Go over to BeardTone.com, go to the store section. There's 5 or 6 of them left, something like that. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and thanks for watching. We'll see what we get here.